it's Shannon from veryshannon.com, and this is the help video for the Kapsel Cardigan to give you a bit of visual instruction on how to work your German short rows in the Purl Twist stitch. And if you haven't figured out how to do that stitch yet, you can check the help page, and there's also a video showing you how to do that. So we're going to move forward, assuming that you have figured out how to knit that and you are getting to the part where you're about to start your shoulder shaping. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to work the short rows on the right side of your work. And this will be done on your right front and also on your back. And when you work the back shoulder shaping, you're going to be combining both right side and wrong side short rows, but we will get to that a little bit later. So I'm just going to do, for an example on this swatch, on your right side, I'm going to knit until I have 9 stitches left on my needles. So I've knit across and I have 9 stitches left, and we are going to now turn. So before I show you the next step, I just wanted to remind you that when you work your German short rows in Kapsel, you will be counting what we call the GSR-DS, which is German short row double stitch. You're going to count that as 1 stitch. So the extra leg on this does not count as a separate stitch. So when you see that GSR-DS, you're just going to give it a count of 1, not 2. And you will include that in your stitch count. So for example, when you're told to work to 7 stitches from the last GSR-DS, you will include the GSR-DS as 1 stitch in this total. So when you knit across to 7 stitches from last GSR-DS, the GSR-DS is included in that 7. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So we've worked our right side row to the last 7 stitches, and we've turned. So now we've got our working yarn here on the left hand needle, and we've got the rest of these stitches here, the 9 stitches that would have been at the end of the right side row left. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to slip this next stitch, and we are going to take our working yarn, you can see here, and all we're going to do is pull it up and behind the work. So if you can see now, it now has 2 legs. So here's what it looked like before if we just slipped it. If we just slipped that purlwise with our working yarn in front, it would look like that. This one right here. But when you do the German short row, which is really fun, it's super easy, so don't get worried about being hard. You're just gonna pull that up and to the back of the needle so that you can see both the legs of this stitch now. And then you will basically continue working the rest of your row as instructed. So because you're on the wrong side row, you're gonna take that working yarn that's in the back of your right hand needle, and you're just gonna pull it. You're gonna just go behind the right hand needle and bring it back to the front so that you can work your purl 2 together, P1, as instructed to the end. So you're gonna get, you'll be able to tell when you come back around to the next right side row, you're gonna be able to tell where that short row was done. You see that gap is a bit bigger here? So that's what we mean when we say knit to 7 stitches before that last GSR-DS. So you would be looking for this gap, and right here is where your German short row was done, and so you would include that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we would do this on the wrong side of our work. So I'm just going to go back over here, and I'm going to just work a couple P2 together, P1s here to get us a little bit away from that last German short row. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So let's just say 3, 6, 7, or 9 stitches away from this last, let's see, I think I need to be on an even number. Yeah, we're 8 stitches away from the end, and you're gonna turn your work again. And basically, you're gonna take that stitch and slip it purlwise again, and you're gonna bring that up and over so that you can see those 2 legs again. So 1 stitch, and then you will see 2 legs, and you will know that you have done that right. And because we're on a right side row and we're just knitting, you can keep that working yarn this time just right in the back. You don't need to bring it back around to the front to work a purl like we did previously. So you can basically just keep going across, and that stitch will stay there like that. So when we're working both the right or the front, the same thing will apply when you come back around to the other side. You'll see where that gap is in your work where you've done your short row. That's it. It's not too bad, and it's super fast. I find the German short rows really easy to execute, really easy to see where you've worked them, so there's not really a need to be placing markers consistently throughout, but if it does make you feel better, that is an easy way to do it. You could just simply place a marker right before you would slip that stitch over after you've turned your work. And then you should be able to find where they are. Sometimes I like to use the removable stitch markers, the pins, and I like to just pin it into the stitch, and then you can easily see them as well. Well, thank you for watching the video and for your support of Kapsel. And the next one that we'll be doing is how to resolve this stitch, the German short row in this Purl Twist stitch. So if you check out our help page, you'll be able to find the video to do that as well. Thank you so much, and happy knitting!